Good morning, everybody. Welcome to a deadline stream for Game Week 9. Not long to go to the deadline, only 28 minutes, and not a massively interesting lineup to wait for. I think it's Everton versus West Ham, so hopefully Yarmolenko will play. I don't see any reason why he wouldn't. How is everybody? Who's panicking right now? Who's looking to make moves this morning? Changing captains. I'm trying not to do that. This is my team. It's basically the same team from the last stream. I didn't do the Pookie move, which I'm not going to lie, a triple price change that I saw this morning. So Mane went up, Salah went down, and Wilson went up. That means I now can't make that move without an additional move. So it's have I just woke up? I've not, but I sound like I have, don't I? I've been up for about 2.5 hours. Since about 8:30. I do sound like I've just woken up, so I apologise, but I promise you I've not. I've literally just showered and whatnot, so I'm feeling good. Pretty good. So yeah, I didn't make those transfers. Obviously, the thing with FPL is you get instant regret a lot of the time. So as soon as I saw those price changes, I was like, I should have made those moves, because it's going to hurt even more if Pookie blanks, Wilson smashes it. And Wilson could this week. I think it's a great week for him. Salah versus Mane is still close, but obviously Mane's now gone up, Salah's gone down. So it's now even less of a difference in price. So 0.6 million now, I think. So it's a worry. And to be honest, in the back of my head, I'm thinking, if Pookie blanks this week, which could happen, he's not been in the greatest of form, of course, who do I even switch to next week? So we'll see. But if I'm not sure, if I'm not 100% sure, I prefer just to do nothing, which is a bit of a passive way of playing, I suppose. But I prefer to do that and just move on to the next week and see what happens. And everything could change next week. If Pookie scores, then do I think I'll keep him for Man United? Actually, I don't know. I'm still thinking about Morpay. He's an option. Jimenez, yeah, maybe this week could be good. As for Son, I'm not expecting Son to play. But if I want to get De Bruyne in, I have to take a hit. So I'm just going to wait, basically. I'm gonna see what happens. Hope he plays. If he doesn't, Otamendi off the bench isn't worse. I'll be honest. This is pretty much a damage control week for me. I don't want to be negative. I'm not negative about my team every week. But this week, I'm not holding out too much hope, I don't think. I don't know. I mean, I suppose Soyuncu, Tomori, good chance of clean sheet. Son, if he plays, good chance of a good score, but that seems unlikely. Who knows what kind of Man City team will turn up and play against Crystal Palace. Obviously, you expect them to do well, but will they smash Crystal Palace? We'll have to wait and see. And Abraham captain. I can't believe I'm captain Abraham. Pranav, thanks very much for that. Well, Abraham or Wilson? I think this is a hard... It's a hard question to answer for me because I don't have Wilson. It's easy for the grass to be greener. I think underlying stats wise, Abraham's probably slightly better, but Wilson gets so many big chances, and he's playing a team that give up the most chances in the league. So I think if I had Wilson, it would be very hard not to captain him. But I don't have him, so Abraham's an easier pick for me. And Abraham captain's fine, but will Newcastle turn up and absolutely park the bus and do it well? I feel like Chelsea may need an early goal on that. So I'm not looking forward to this week, but we know what FPL is like. We may come out of it and have a great week. Am I sure about benching Otamendi? Not really, but Soyuncu and Tomori both have good home fixtures, and then it's just between him and Trent Alexander-Arnold. And if Son's not going to play, I know he could come off the bench, then Otamendi will come off anyway. So there's that to consider too. It could backfire. I'm a bit worried about benching Otamendi because I said after I benched Pookie that I would stick to my Trent and Otamendi play every week, and I just pick from Soyuncu and Tomori. But right now, because they've got 2 home games, I'm playing both of them. And I don't want to make any changes now. It's like 23 minutes till the deadline. I want to stick with the decisions I've made, basically. I hate doing late changes. That's how I got Son in, 11:25. Just suddenly decided I was going to get rid of De Bruyne. My biggest hope this week is probably not that Son starts it, that De Bruyne gets his minutes managed. That's going to hurt if he does well. Yarmolenko may be out. Come on. I don't need this stuff now. Ex-West Ham employee. He is reliable. Why can't I see his Twitter thing? Let me see this news. I can't find his Twitter handle. Oh yeah, there he is. Let's see. Bad injury. Okay, he doesn't mention Yarmolenko from what I can see. Fortunately, we picked up a couple of injuries, so there are changes to the starting 11 today. Doesn't say who though. Bad injuries, no, the minor ones. One is out because of a sore muscle, the other drops to the bench as a precaution. It could be Yarmolenko, whatever, I'm not going to worry about it. Like I say, I'm not massively happy about benching Otamendi, so if one of my team misses out, it's not the end of the world, I don't think. We'll see what happens. Dunk or Soyuncu, I think you've got to go for the home guy, right? I mean, I know Dunk did well last week, but he's not now, the saviour of everything, I don't think. I think it's Felipe Anderson based on training picks. Yeah, I saw someone else saying that. I'm not going to worry about it now. Unless I've got guaranteed news, not panicking. Liverpool to win 4-0, Salah scores the brace. I don't know, I just don't see us conceding 4. I'm sure Liverpool will win that game. They're probably the favourites, of course. And they're definitely the favourites, let me rephrase. 4-0 though, I'm just not so sure. But we'll see. And I triggered a lot of people by saying Pogba should be in the Liverpool team, and that I didn't necessarily think that Liverpool were the greatest options for this week. Not that I'd be getting rid of him, of course. Just not looking to captain. De Gea out. Romero's a good replacement. Is it a good time to have your number 2 coming in against Liverpool? Probably not, but we won't go into it again. Said my piece on that. Kane or Sterling captain? I think if you've got Kane, I'd be tempted to just captain him this week against Watford. It's a good home fixture. There's not. I don't think there is like a standout this week. If anything, Wilson is probably the standout, just because of the fixture at home. Loads of big chances. Your girlfriend is asking where my accent is from. Where does she think my accent is from? Right now, my accent is sounding a bit like just got out of bed, as people have pointed out. Not that I have, but that's what it sounds like. Thoughts on Bolly, bonus point man. I think he's nice if you don't have to play him every week. I'm not sure about having to play him like every week for the next 3, but it's a good option this week if you've got a good bench for the next couple of weeks. I think yes, he's not scored yet this year, but he scored 4 goals last year. I think goal threat is something he has. He's always up at corners. Who do I support more in the rugby, England or Ireland? England every time. Come on. I mean, I want Ireland to win. But then when they play England, if they play England, I want England to win for sure. No question about it. Try to play Mane or Salah. I'm not answering Mane or Salah anymore. We've done that so many times. When am I selling Otamendi for Lundstrom? Not this week, that's for sure. I think in the back of my mind, I'm going to go into next week with 2 free transfers, and I've already got in my head that there could be a -8 coming, but it really depends. If Pukki scores, Salah scores. Not that I'm itching to get rid of Salah, but he's just a way to make some more money. Only 0.6 million though with Mane. That does hurt a bit. Son to De Bruyne, and maybe a defender transfer. There's loads of stuff I might do next week, but we'll see. I did watch most of England versus Australia, but not from the start. Hang on, let's. Soyuncu has no goal threat versus Mendy has a lot. Yeah, but I'm thinking Soyuncu definitely gets a clean sheet, right? One thing I'm going to do actually is change my vice captain to Sterling. Just so I'm not. Yeah, Mount's good, but I'm going to go Sterling vice. Abraham captain, Sterling vice. There we go. Nice little touch by FPL, by the way, to put the no room for racism stuff in. Obviously, everything that happened this week and in general, really nice touch. Jimenez in for Pookie next week. So here's my worries about not selling Pookie this week. Is most of the striker, apart from Morpay, like Jimenez looks good this week. He's not going to look as good next week. And it'll be frustrating if he scores and you didn't get him in against Southampton, then to have 2 away games. And it's very similar for Wilson. The Wilson's fixtures are okay, but the really good one is this week. And so, like, after this week, let me just check a sec. It's Bournemouth. So Norwich home's great. Watford away, yeah, okay, fair enough. Man United at home, Newcastle away, Wolves at home, Spurs away. I mean, the fixtures aren't... I don't think they're fantastic after this week. They're okay. So obviously, then it's more frustrating to have to bring Wilson in next week. So it's going to be tough if Pookie does blank this week. And even if he doesn't, it's Man United at home, Brighton away. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how Norwich look. Do I regret waiting not to make the moves not to make the moves? Yeah, I do, but at the same time, like I've kind of already said, it's very instant regret happens a lot in FPL, and so yeah, it's easy to regret something you haven't done when you don't know the result. If Pookie scores today, and Salah beats Mane, and Wilson blanks, which I'm not expecting, to be completely honest. If Son starts, lots of it's ifs and buts, of course, but everything could be different next week. I could be streaming on Sunday or Monday whenever I decide to do it, and have a different outlook, different players to want to transfer out, etc. So I do a lot of the times, if I'm not 100% sure on what I want to do, I'm not completely confident in it. Just do nothing and hope for the best. It is almost hoping for the best this week for me. Do I think I'll go the whole season without having a premium striker? Never say never, especially with free hits and stuff. Makes it a lot easier to get them in. Like I've seen people free hitting this week getting Kane in. Jack Bain, thanks very much for £2. Is Atsu essential? He's always essential. We know that. You fancy a Pookie haul? I mean, I feel like I said this. I did say this last week for Villa. If he's going to haul, surely it's Villa at home. I mean, Bournemouth away is not much worse, to be fair. They're conceding a lot of chances, so. I said that on the preview. Okay, I think unless you had the money directly to easily get to Wilson, I wasn't sure about a hit, and so I've stuck with what I've said basically. Sterling's fit, yeah, but obviously he played a lot of minutes over the international break. But I wouldn't worry too much about him not starting personally. He had a rest recently, didn't he? What a Captain Wilson? Yeah, probably. It's difficult with the price race structure. It forces people to make moves when we'd like more time. Yeah, I don't really mind it, to be honest. It's just the way FPL works. Sky has a different way of playing it with no price changes, but limited transfers, captain changes. There's probably not as much to speak about week in, week out with Sky because you don't necessarily want to make transfers every week. Whereas it's different with FPL, so it's just a different game. I don't mind the price rises, to be honest. I mean, obviously I'm struggling a little bit because the team value that I built that I then lost, which hasn't helped my decisions. But I don't mind the price rises really. It is frustrating, obviously, when a player you want to wait for is going up, but that's just the way the game is. What's my thoughts about cheap defence and strong midfield and attack? I mean, that's pretty much what I've gone for the most part. I think there's a good few cheap striker options that have come available now, so makes that strategy more viable for sure. I think the thing with Son is he will definitely get minutes and he can score off the bench. It just depends what kind of type of Spurs team turns up. I mean, they are playing at home. I don't think they've been awful at home this season. Let me see. Beat Villa 3-1 opening day. Did lose to Newcastle, actually, to be fair. Palace 4-0. Southampton 2-1. So they've won 3 out of 4 and scored a good few goals in that. And it's Watford. So I remember having Son before and thinking that he might be benched and saying that he could score off the bench. And then he did score off the bench. And then he went on a massive run. So fingers crossed. But realistically, the thing with Son, he is my way to get De Bruyne. And with Liverpool and Everton away in the next 2 games, I'm probably just going to do it anyway. So I really am just hoping for a farewell present from him, to be honest. Vardy or Abraham for captain? I mean, Burnley are probably going to sit quite deep, so I don't know if Vardy's going to find it that easy to get in and behind. I don't know. It's pretty close. The problem with it, I like Abraham as a captain option because Chelsea have obviously scored so many goals, but they are playing Newcastle, who we know can sit deep. But I think Abraham and Vardy's close. I'd probably go Abraham, but I don't think there's much in it. Vardy's on penalties, etc. Might be a good reason to go for him. Yarmolenko on the bench. Bench is annoying. I'd rather he was just out than on the bench. Let me see. Where are you seeing this? Because I checked his account just a minute ago. Oh, here's our predicted lineup. Okay. Let me just control F his name. Okay. Everton have or West Ham are missing Cresswell, Sonny, and Yarmolenko on the bench, who must be exhausted or have picked up a small knock after his exploits for Ukraine. Oh, that's annoying. That is annoying. Do I just start him and hope for the best, or do I just put in Otamendi now? Masuaku will come in for Cresswell and Fornells should return to the starting lineup in place of Yarmolenko. That is... Yeah, no, I know he's pretty in the know when it comes to... Oh yeah, here's our predicted lineup. I think I've got to put Otamendi in. Like, I don't like making changes based on news like that, but he is pretty sound of his news, so I'm gonna do that. Because if he's on the bench, he could come on. Yes, he could score, but I think I'd just rather take the risk of playing Otamendi straight away. I'll put him first bench. We'll see what happens. Oh, this week, man. This is not going to be a good one. There we go. Otamendi is in. Why do I have Son in my team? Great question. I mean, if you've watched my videos, you'll know by now. I mean, Mount is not the word. I think if you think that fixture is good for Chelsea, then there's an argument to captain Mount ahead of Abraham, of course. Did I miss a super chat? Oh, sorry, Lucas. Thanks very much. Bolly Wilson or Bolly Vardy King for -4. I think just Bolly Wilson just saved the -4. I think... Wait, what? Why would you have King for -4? Bolly Vardy King. I don't get that. But Bolly Wilson for free sounds good to me. I can get away with leaking team news by putting speech marks. I don't know. Diop first sub. I don't know. I might change that in a minute. Ireland or New Zealand win? I want Ireland to win, but I think most people have written them off already. I don't know enough about rugby, to be honest, to say. De Bruyne or Josh King for captain? I like the fact that you're considering Josh King, to be honest. I think well, if you're confident De Bruyne starts, I think De Bruyne. If not, whatever. King. So this is where I got... I'm going to link in the chat. This is where I got the Yarmolenko stuff from. Now, obviously, you know, he might have it wrong. The info he's got might be wrong, but he's pretty good when it comes to West Ham. There's not many in the nose that I would trust, to be honest, but he is one. Yeah, Diop instead of Yarmolenko, possibly. Just think Yarmolenko off the bench, Son off the bench. I'm basically hoping for everyone off the bench this week. It would be a nightmare if he scored, and I've got Diop who's conceded against Everton. Pookie is staying, people. You have to get over it. We'll talk about who I get rid of him for next week when he blanks. Greenwood or Connolly on a wildcard? I think it has to be Connolly. I mean, there's no guarantee he keeps starting, but 2 goals against Spurs. 8 shots in the box over the last 4 games. He's only played like 131 minutes. That's pretty good. So I think it has to be Connolly. I don't think there's many questions though. At this rate, Mason Greenwood could be your hero. Who knows? Burst onto the scene against Liverpool, a bit like Rashford. Obviously, he's already played, but... Will Sterling start? We'll wait and see. Will Yarmolenko play? He might play off the bench, but it sounds like he is going to be benched. King has missed about 9 sitters over the international break. Well, hopefully that doesn't happen in the league. Abraham captain, it's kind of answered on the screen, right? Start McGinn or Pookie? Oof. Home to Brighton. I mean, given the form and he's at home, probably McGinn just about, but I wouldn't like to be benching Pookie if I'm going to keep him. Liverpool winning, your team get 80 points, or Man United winning, your team gets 20. I'd take the 20 points. What week do I usually triple captain? Usually in double game week. I usually mess it up. Don't even listen to me for triple captain advice. Didn't get what's in the end. Nope. Okay, we're kind of repeating now. By the way, if you haven't already, there are a bunch of polls. If you want to vote on them, we'll do them in a minute. Click the little eye in the top right corner. If you're enjoying the deadline streams, and make sure to give it a like. Much appreciated. I'm just going to tweet out this Yarmolenko bench stuff a second. Yarmolenko. Anyway, sorry for the typing. Sterling or Salah captain? I think I'd go Sterling. Like, maybe people in the chat will differ. They think I'm very Man United biased, so... You're a fast typer. I am indeed. Plenty of practice, which is not a good thing. Sell Son. I mean, Yarmolenko... The problem is I've got 6 minutes to decide on transfers now. You know, is there a possibility of trading out Yarmolenko for someone? Maybe. Actually, interestingly, no, it's the same price now. How much can I sell Yarmolenko for? 5.9. Yeah, McGinn's risen in price because I could have done McGinn in for Yarmolenko and Son to De Bruyne. But after this fixture, Bruyne at home, McGinn has Man City away and Liverpool at home, so not really interested there. Bloody Yarmolenko. I mean, if you think Cantwell's going to start, you start him ahead of Yarmolenko, I would say. Now, I'm not going to sell Yarmolenko because I think it just sounds like it's a precaution. He's not fully injured. He's going to be back next week. Sheffield United at home, Newcastle at home, Burnley away. I think I want him for those fixtures. I don't know if there's a much better option for that price in midfield. McGinn for this week, maybe, but then next 2 weeks, I wouldn't be so happy about owning him. Oh, by the way, I have just so like I don't know why anyone would think I'm trying to pull the wool over their eyes with who my first sub is, but I've put Diop first sub. Jesus, what changes this morning? Not interesting changes though. Yarmolenko bench, Diop first sub. Ugh. How do I see Liverpool's clean sheet chances in the next month or so? I mean, the next few fixtures are going to be tricky. I think they're going to win those games. Whether or not they'll get, clean sheets, I don't know. But in like the next 2 or 3 weeks after that, with Alisson back as well, I think it's looking good. It's possible Yarmolenko could be a bit tired. Okay. Hudson-Odoi. I mean, Hudson-Odoi is not a bad shout if you can do that. I've already got triple Chelsea, so I can't do that. But yeah, I quite like that move. Because I think that's not a short-term move. I think if you think Hudson-Odoi is going to keep starting, that's a pretty nice chance to make. Only 4 minutes to the deadline, by the way, so we'll do the polls now. We'll see what people have voted for. Cantwell, Lundstrom, or Diop. What to play this week? I'll probably just play Cantwell. A lot of people seem to be benching Cantwell. Is it because it's an away fixture? I mean, people seem to think that Pookie might do well. Will Cantwell not do well? A lot of chances. We're just not expecting him to play or something. I don't know. I feel like a lot of the times people have asked me a question which involves who to play and Cantwell. It always seems like Cantwell's the best option, but maybe I'm missing something. Oh, Richarlison up front, it seems. Interesting. Either way, Yarmolenko is benched. Frustrating. If I get punished now for Yarmolenko second on my bench, give up. Polls, anyway. Your Game Week 9 captain, Abraham, still massively ahead, although a little bit lower, I think, than the last stream. A few less votes, 48%. Wilson, 21%. 20% on Aguero, De Bruyne, Sterling. So I think that's a bit higher than it was midweek or on Thursday. 2% on Salamane and 6% on someone else. How long to hold Pookie if he blanks? So basically, if he blanks this week, 72% of you are just going to get rid next week, which is kind of what I said as well. Which is probably one of the almost like one of the problems with holding him, because it'll be frustrating if he blanks and you have to get rid of him next week anyway. Especially if the likes of Morpay, Jimenez, etc. do well this week. Morpay's the one I want to look at. If he does well again this week, or if he looks good, even if he doesn't score. They got 2 good fixtures. 19% holding for another 2 to 3 game weeks, and 8% long-term hold. Not even looking to get rid of him. Most clean sheets next 6 game weeks out of Leicester, Arsenal, Chelsea. Someone randomly asked that, so I thought I'd put it in. 66% on Leicester, 25% on Chelsea, only 7% for Arsenal. Probably went as expected, that poll. Will I regret not taking a hit for Wilson Manny? 65% of you say yes. I think you could be right. 35% say no. And Son, keep or sell, 66% saying sell. So, judging by the polls and the general comments, it's looking like an awful week for me. But there we go. Only 1 minute to the deadline. Well, actually, it's probably not 1 minute because I think my clock's a bit fast. But it's very close to the deadline now. If you want to make any final changes. I think I'm locked in now. Otamendi playing ahead of Yarmolenko. Diop ahead of him on the bench as well. Yarmolenko is in great form. 3 goals in the last 5. Could he come off the bench and get something? Quite possibly. I will get 57 points. That's not bad, you know. I don't know. I feel like the team is okay if everyone plays. That's what I would say. Which we already know Yarmolenko's not going to, probably. Good luck, thank you. Good luck to all of y'all as well. Source is he's called ex-West Ham employee on Twitter. Very, very reliable with West Ham news. 6:30 AM for you. Oof. Hudson-Odoi or Mal. I think the sexier pick right now is Hudson-Odoi, right? Salah to Mane and take a -8 hit. I mean, it's hard to say without knowing what your other transfers are. If you've not taken a -8 at this point, I'm not sure doing it on deadline is the best option usually, but depending on what your other transfers are, it could be worth it. You're doing so badly, you're happy to get the average. Yeah, that does hurt, doesn't it? When we're doing this bad. People are asking with a minute to go who to play, who to captain, etc. Yeah, I know, it's kind of, it's done now. This is not a good time to be making last minute changes. 4:30 AM for you. Oof. Son only came back. Yeah, Son did only come back recently. Is the wildcard still in the back pocket? It is not, as we know. It's well and truly had to be used. And job done. There we go. Deadline is in. Oh my god, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Oh, someone tweeted me to say Yarmolenko starts. And he doesn't. Who tweeted me that? He's in the lineup. No, he's not. Jesus Christ. Thomas. Not happy with you. Made me panic. I was about to go on a proper rant. So yeah, Diop starts as expected. Ogbonna, Haller, Felipe Anderson, Fornals. So pretty standard team, to be honest. Obviously, the one thing actually about playing Diop ahead of him, they've not got Fabianski, have they? So that's probably a bad call. I think if I could switch now, I'd probably put Yarmolenko first bench. But whatever, job done. Let's have a look at Everton.